Disturbing new video appears to support some of the accusations of abuse against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs.
We want to warn you that this video you're about to see is extremely graphic. The surveillance footage that was captured inside of a Los Angeles hotel in 2016 allegedly shows Combs assaulting then-girlfriend Cassie Ventura in a hallway. A now settled lawsuit filed by Ventura claimed that she was trying to leave the hotel after a drunken Combs punched her. The video appears to show Combs chasing her down the hall, throwing her to the ground, and then repeatedly kicking her. So far, there's been no comment from Combs or his attorney.
The ongoing feud between Diddy Combs and Meek Mill has taken a dramatic turn. A leaked video, allegedly involving both parties, has sparked a frenzy on social media, intensifying the tension. Diddy's lawyer made headlines with a fiery outburst, further fueling the controversy. This unfolding drama is filled with accusations, scandal, and plenty of intrigue.
Here we go.
Right. So, you know how, like,
we yelled at Kurt about this yesterday. When he came in and he goes, P. Diddy definitely everybody and did this and raped everyone. And then we're like, well, how do you know? He's like, I read. Not really, it doesn't really mean anything. You're always reading somebody else's numbers.
So what is?
But that's what you can do in comedy. That is enough to checkmate most comedians.
Yeah.
I read, and you go, he does
wrong.
read. All right.
Yeah. Well, it's just a funny thing to say because you could also be like admitting the ridiculousness of it yourself while saying I read, because it's kind of an admission. Like I'm not there. I didn't go to the freak off.
Yeah, I want to hear somebody goes, I went to one of these parties and man, P. Diddy was like, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go fuck Meek Mill in the butt. But like that's never going to happen. No one comes out and says
so.
That.
If you're looking at that. What makes you conclude that he definitely was doing that?
Because he basically, the first time they ever met, he presented him with the Steele dossier, which had all of the dirt.
That's the pee-pee stuff, right?
Yeah, all the pee-pee shit in it. Or I shouldn't say shit. There was no shit alleged, just piss.
Russian piss.
Yes, alleged Russian piss. Yes. That's the aspect Jay wants to make sure.
Is that what collusion means?
Something like that. And then
he plays so dirty. They play dirty like a movie.
It's pretty crazy. Yes,
it's really wild.
I don't know. I mean, did you see?
That was the number one fear of having these big agencies have so much power. So that they would never want to relinquish it. They would never want to say, like, hey, look, we're patriots. I think we should follow by the rule of the Constitution and let the people decide. And it's like everything else, man. Once you start running shit, you don't want to stop.
Well, I've seen friends of mine have way less power go to their head.
It's weird, right?
I wouldn't trust these two with power.
But it is a weird thing to watch, right?
Yes, it's bizarre. That's human beings, though, man.
Now imagine that, but with no showbiz. No showbiz. So you get in that rush, but now the rush is controlling the world.
Well, isn't that?
Yeah, it's like the way we feel about crushing on stage is the way Hillary Clinton feels about crushing Libya.
But isn't that what
we saw, he died. I fucking crushed.
Wasn't that L. Ron Hubbard though? L. Ron Hubbard was like, "Hey, this will be funny. I'll start this and go into this, start a religion," and then years later, he said when his friends he told that to hit him up like, "This is crazy, dude. You did it." He's like, you ran that scam," and he's like, "Scam? You better get your thetan levels checked if you're gonna say it's just he just started eating his own shit because
The leaked video that's sparking widespread discussion is at the center of the storm. While rumors are swirling about an alleged video involving Diddy and Meek Mill, its authenticity remains unconfirmed. However, the timing couldn't be worse for Diddy, who is still dealing with the fallout from his September arrest. The release of this video has only amplified the ongoing drama. Notably, this isn't the first time Meek Mill's name has been tied to Diddy's controversies, adding another layer to the escalating tension.
Also was just recently contacted by someone who wanted me to essentially represent them in the sale of one of the Diddy tapes. So, which I declined that because...
Wait a minute, say that again. Say that again, back up. You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped?
Yes, there have been people already shopping.
We've heard about the tapes, but
yes.
The shopping thing is...
Yes, there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood but one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of, and to contact the person who was in the video to see if they were interested in purchasing the video before it became a public knowledge.
I've heard this before, so like a catch and kill.
Catch and kill, correct.
Wow. Can you, and I guess you can't reveal the person who is on
No, I
tape.
can't explain who the person was, but
High profile?
Mr. Combs was in the tape, and this other person is, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs.
Really? Really? And you've seen it?
I've seen stills of the video.
Okay.
So
you can verify
that it exists, that it's real, that the other person in the video is very visible. It's no question if it's that person in the video, and I can tell the video was pornographic in nature.
Oh my. All right. So we know that he videotaped a lot of activities at his home, Diddy. And it sounds like there was probably a lot of hidden cameras as well. Is that what is being talked about?
Yes. This was actually in his Atlanta home, at a home he had in Atlanta at one point. And it does seem that the person isn't like looking into the video, so it's, to me, doesn't seem like that person knows they're being videotaped. It doesn't seem like they're active participant in the videotaping, like they're being surreptitiously recorded it.
Mm-hmm. All right. I wanted to ask you about the police report we talked about, but when your client came out, obviously the neighbor knew. Did she talk to her family? Did she talk to her friends? Did she have another lawyer? Let's go back to your client.
So at the time, she, as most rape victims are, they feel a lot of shame.
Absolutely.
And they don't want to vocalize what happened to them because then it makes it real. So they kind of internalize it and get over it. Mm-hmm. And due to the high profile nature that it was Mr. Combs who did this, she was afraid for her life. She was concerned that if she was to come forward and say something, that no one would believe her, because we're talking about 2018 when Mr. Combs was still pretty much at the height of his career, still very much so an icon and influential figure.
Meek Mill isn't remaining silent in the face of the accusations. The rapper has strongly rejected the claims, describing them as part of a smear campaign. He denies the authenticity of both the audio and the alleged video, asserting that they have been altered or fabricated using AI. Meek argues that this is a deliberate attempt to tarnish his reputation and undermine his influence as a prominent Black figure in the hip-hop industry.
A young girl from Northern California who's going to believe that he had done something to her like this. So she didn't tell anybody. She did not hire an attorney. All she did was make the police report in the hopes that maybe the police would try to investigate and come up with anything. But she said she kind of felt from the police that they were disregarding what she was saying, even without saying Mr. Combs' name. So she didn't feel any confidence that revealing his name would have done anything.
Sure. I mean, but there's a police report.
Yeah.
I mean, that fact in of itself is a big deal, because when you're talking about going back in time and talking about these allegations from other alleged victims, you know, there's not a lot of police reports, but you guys actually have one. And is that going to be revealed? Are we going to be able to see it?
Yes, as soon as I file my lawsuit in civil court, I will be attaching the criminal complaint that was made. I'll attach the number so everyone can see that this is a real number and can go to the police department there and request their own copy of that police report that was made back in 2018.
Well, that's going to be a huge deal when it happens, obviously, so we want to follow up on that. Did Mr. Combs have any reaction? Do you know if he was interviewed? I mean, he was named in the police report?
I don't think so. Based on what she said, she really felt that the police were trying to bury this and disregard her claims and not really investigate, which is another reason why a lot of victims don't report these things to the police. We have to address the elephant in the room is that we have victims, especially women, who go to the police, who are typically men, who don't actually investigate these things. They victim blame, they victim shame, and women don't feel safe or even protected to even make these claims because they don't think they'll be taken seriously, nor will their claims be investigated.
Right. Well, your client should be proud of herself for filing that claim and making that call and going for help, because that's a huge deal. And of course, these are allegations. We want to say that. What was it like for you when you got this phone call, when you realized what you were going to be stepping into?
After talking to her, I just wanted to protect her. I just wanted to help her. She seemed as somebody very broken by this experience, and it was very concerning for me to hear her saying these things and expressing this very deep trauma associated with what happened to her. I just wanted to make sure that, number one, she was heard and we can get her voice to the masses, and maybe Mr. Combs will actually, like right now we're starting to see, will actually face some type of consequences.
The situation took a dramatic turn when Diddy's attorney addressed the leaked video at a press conference. Clearly shaken, the lawyer vehemently denied the video's authenticity, accusing unknown individuals of orchestrating a deliberate attack on Diddy. While the attorney's frustration is understandable, the emotional outburst has only added to the spectacle. And now speculation is mounting about whether this reaction is an attempt to deflect from larger issues or if there is genuine concern about what might emerge next.
Short, the actor, recently did an interview where he said that Diddy called him and asked him to come to his hotel room at 2 a.m. He said, "Who's over there right now?" No, it's just me. And it says his wife was looking at him crazy and everything else like that. I don't necessarily see a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? If a mogul calls me to want to have a business meeting with me at 2 a.m. in his room, so what? I would do it.
I mean, we're men.
Yeah.
There better be some money out the deal.
Right.
Because if I get up 2 a.m., I go over there and he says, "I really like your jacket."
Make sure you wear your jacket when you come over.
That's special jacket. We gonna move some furniture. Where's the jacket? Then we were so wild, man. You know how it was.
Yeah, I can imagine if you're a woman and a man asks you to come to her hotel room at 2 a.m. and you know you're a little unsure about, but if it's a man asking another man,
like I say,
I would do it. I wouldn't see a problem with it.
It better be some business. It better be some money.
Okay.
When I walk out there, it'd be like, "Oh man,
I mean, what's he gonna do? Hold me down and rape me in the room? Like
where's the jacket?
Where's the jacket?
Where's Trey Songz?
Well, but you know what's crazy? There's a new lawsuit accusing Diddy of sexual assault, whatever, from a man, and in the paperwork, it's implied that Meek Mill and Usher were somehow involved in this whole situation.
See, I don't know.
Did you ever see the picture though of Meek Mill and Puffy with matching outfits?
Stop playing. Stop playing. Stop playing, man. Stop playing.
Hold on.
That ain't real.
That's real.
That ain't real.
It's real. There's multiple pictures from the same event.
With the head side like that. We wish we had Vlad's jacket, man.
That's not my jacket, by the way. Although the colors are actually somewhat similar. It's kind of like the black and brown kind of.
That is not a real picture, Vlad.
It's a real picture.
I think that's it can't be.
It's a real picture.
If that's the case, I have only experienced nothing but respect from Diddy. I've never.
Meek Mill took his response a step further, reflecting on his journey from the streets of Philadelphia to global stardom. He shared the challenges of being a black man in the public eye, stating, "My voice is so powerful as a black man from the ghetto. Worldwide, they want it gone. I'm a real king, straight out of the trenches, under the control of no human." His words emphasize both his resilience and his defiance against those who seek to silence him.
At a weird moment, or it's just like. So I see how people sue people because it's so easy.
Yeah.
All they got to do is say those key words. Diddy offered me coke at 4 a.m. by the pool.
Mm-hmm. I'm suing. Yeah.
And you know what's fucked up is these people can sue, and you can't when they look, because all it is a extortion.
Yeah, but listen, I've been sued and I've settled with people, and
that's the problem.
Not because I was guilty, because it ultimately comes down
There is
to
no
a dollar amount.
Yes.
It's like, okay,
That's what they know.
Yes, look, okay, they're suing me for $10 million.
Right.
Okay, so I've already spent $75,000 on legal fees.
Yep.
So I could go to court and spend another $150,000, or I could give them $75,000 and I'm out of it for 150 total, as opposed to 225 or 300 if I go to court and
you know what
win.
they're gonna say?
Because I can't sue them for my legal fees. And even if I could, they don't have the money to pay me back. So let me just give them the 75 and I'm done, and whatever. But then everyone's gonna still look at me like I'm guilty, but who gives a fuck?
Yes.
But that's what happens. That's what happens.
Yes.
And the problem is that a lot of times these lawsuits are by Jane Does or John Does. So
they want to get that. Once they hit that headline, Diddy sued. You hear what they said? By a male assistant.
Right.
He's fucking him in the ass and getting jackets from other people. That's why I'm like,
maybe he was wearing that jacket while he was doing the fucking. I don't know.
Take that. My special that we were talking about in 2000 was talking about when Diddy was first going to jail. I said, Diddy does not want to go to jail with a name like Puff Daddy. You don't want to be in jail.
Come here, Daddy.
You don't want to go to jail with a name like Puff Daddy. It was something else. It was for the shooting.
The Shine shooting situation?
Yes, it was that time. It was like, you don't want to go to jail with no name like Puff.
Not everyone is convinced by Meek Mill's version of events. Critics suggest that his claims of a smear campaign might be an attempt to deflect attention from the allegations against him. Some have pointed out that his defensive tone and dismissive remarks, such as referring to the rumors as unseen black ghetto kid stuff, do little to clear his name. Instead, these comments seem to add fuel to the controversy. Fans and critics alike are now left wondering, is this all part of a larger conspiracy, or is there truth behind the accusation?
Well, he said a Philly rapper. You understand? And it was redacted in the paperwork to that, because first of all, it had Meek Mills, it had Stevie J, they had redacted their names, and they had Usher, and they redacted their names and just said a performer of the Super Bowl and a Philly rapper. Everybody kind of knew back in the day that Meek Mills and Puff was a little too friendly. Anytime two rappers or two people in the industry come dressed up alike on more than one occasion, listen here, man. My dudes in Philly, I got some real strong dudes in Philly. They don't play that shit. And they probably embarrassed for the fact to see that Meek Mills, one of the street guys that came out of there, got caught up in this Hollywood, whereas that he's dressing like, he dressing the same, he dressing like Diddy, hugged up with Diddy. I think that Lil Rod know a lot of shit, but I know this. Two men dress alike, it's just like two men laying down. When they both get up, they both homos. And that's real talk, bruh. My man, you go to a party, dog, and the nigga got the same shirt you got on, I'm taking my shirt off. I'm walking around in a t-shirt. And then, not to blow Meek Mills up out the water or anything like that, it was said that they checked his Google search and all the other shit, and he was searching for some online gay porn and all that other shit like that.
Oh, wow.
That shit is crazy, bro. But listen, those are what, it's crazy that money, that lifestyle, and you trying to fit into something get you. These guys never set out to do all this shit. Meek Mills, when he got into the game, he didn't set out to be questioning about his manhood with Diddy. But he put himself in that position.
Not